Illuminate the dark! Come forth, Eagle! In here! Freeze Lancer! Magic
Your
is
reflexes will not serve you well here.
Illuminate, you get the gist. Field! More for the stockpile! Burning! A chain between magic and them! Divine Savior!
In a bind?
Illuminate the dark! Come forth, Holy Glimmer! Sleep now! Who wants to die saving this one? I never
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah! And recovery to me! Field! Lightning! Torn up! More here, Flame of Fury! Divine Savior! Holy Land!
Take this!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Searing Flame! Come forth, Holy Glimmer!
Negative.
With this, I can become even stronger. Out of our way!
On your knees.
You picked the wrong fight!
Here! Illuminate the dark! Come forth, Holy Glimmer! Sleep now! As if the normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting enough. Blah, blah, blah.
I'll face you.
Sleep now! Saving this one!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Take this! I can carve through armor.
A chain between heaven and earth!
I can handle it.
Not today!
Benediction light.
Divine Savior! A chain between heaven and earth! A wailing Banshee of lightning!
Here I come!
Annihilation! Sleep now! Burn up! Illuminate magic is Holy Land! Annihilation!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Lightning thrust!
Chain between heaven and earth! A wailing Banshee of lightning! Field!
Rising
No
Wyvern!
further.
A chain between heaven and earth! A wailing Banshee of lightning!
Pieces! Attack us!
A chain between heaven and earth!
Sonic thrust! This
A
one's
wailing
mine!
Banshee of lightning!
Where are you going?
On your
I'll
knees.
smash you!
Double
A
team!
chain between heaven and earth! A wailing Banshee of lightning! A chain between heaven and earth!
You're mine!
Face and blood. Rending you
Demon
apart.
Illuminate the dark! Come forth, Holy Glimmer!
I can handle it.
Double demon blast!
Far enough.
A chain between heaven and earth!
Dance on the wind.
It's time to finish this. Die! Consuming wildfire!
Benediction light.
Not today!
Illuminate the dark! Come forth, Holy Glimmer! Holy Land!
Take this!
No
Pull
further!
myself together. I'm all disasters made one.
Anything in armor is all mine. I'll smash you!
Down! Rising Phoenix!
Raging Cascade! First aid!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Engulf you!
Radiant!
I won't give up.
You'll pay for that!
Rending you apart.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Bloody howling!
Rising Phoenix!
This one's all mine. Imbue this vanquished soul with life.
Huh? Not today!
Raging Cascade!
Beyond, imbue this vanquished
Rising
soul
Phoenix!
with life.
Here I come!
Resuscitation.
I'm not done!
Benediction
What was
light.
I thinking?
Be still!
Raging
Rising
Cascade!
After being interrupted.
I won't give up.
Dazzle! Catapult! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
From beyond.
Oh, violent darting
Demon
dark!
Fang!
Illuminate the
done
dark!
for.
Come
Denied.
Holy
Demon
Land!
Fang!
Illuminate the dark!
I'll smash you!
Holy Land!
Can't get out of this!
Illuminate! Magic is there! Here's evil! Holy Land! Illuminate the Land! Field!
Engulf you!
Divine Savior! Do it! Kitara! Frozen!
Hammer. Remember to tell me if you need healing.
I expect you'll be in high demand if that's the case.
Right!
Benediction light.
Now you'll learn!
Illuminate the
Allow me to
dark!
help you.
Come forth, holy downfall!
being
Illuminate the
interrupted.
Here goes!
No further.
You
How
pay
long are
for
we gonna
that!
keep this up for exactly? Just what the doctor will bring you down.
All mine!
Blah, blah, blah.
Not today!
I'll bring you back from death to this.
Shuffling flash!
Illuminate the dark. Come forth. I can handle it.
No
In
rest
here.
for the wicked.
Healing circle.
Save you.
Where would that came from?
Negative
Blah,
gate.
blah, blah.
Burn! We did it!
Holy land. Blah, blah, blah. Mega ray. In here.
I'm ready. All yours, Kisara. Benediction light.
Radiant team. Magic is there.
Destruction! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Can you take it?
One after
Explosive
another.
ring!
Strike.
We're still standing. Barely.
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Is someone making them stand guard over the Forbidden Zone?
I won't forgive you. My watch.
Not today!
Illuminate the healing circle. Come forth, holy flip, holy land. Illuminate. I think I'll pass on the hand. Illuminate the dark. Come forth, healing flip, holy land.
this!
Illuminate the dark. Come forth, holy land.
Anything in armor is already.
Be
I
still!
am not beyond fury.
Holy land. Illuminate mine. I never miss.
Use too much. On your knees.
Holy land. Mega ray.
Burn in hell!
Holy land.
Behold! The earth pulse! Tectonic vision!
Illuminate the dark! Come forward!
Sword Lane Alpha!
Illuminate the dark!
Take this! Dazzle! Rising Phoenix! Sword Lane Alpha! Sword Lane Alpha! Try this!
Here's evil! A wailing decree of
Rising Phoenix! Take this! Sword Lane Alpha!
Can't get out of this!
Rising Phoenix! Burn in hell!
Let's let
Here's evil!
Here I come! Soaring Light Spear! There! Dazzle! Take this!
resonate
Try
with the
harder!
earth!
Now! Soaring Light Spear!
Leave the charges to me.
Energy! Raging Spear! Sleep now. Let me help.
Sword Lane Alpha! Eternal Devastation! Dazzle!
Protocol field! More with
Be still! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Benediction.
Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy flip, holy land! Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy flipper, holy land! Illuminate the dark! Magic is there! Lightning! Sleep in the storm! A chain between blah blah blah!
Armor won't save you!
Divine savior! Sleep now!
In a bind?
A blah blah blah! Divine savior! You get the gist!
Sword Lane Alpha!
Not in your dreams! Healing circle!
I owe you
Divine savior!
I'll stop its charge.
Thanks, Kisara! Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy flipper! Ready to go! Not in our
Stay away from my
First
friend!
aid!
Ah! Beast! Do it!
What the
Hurricane
devil?
Not today!
Mega ray! Annihilation! Mega ray!
Sword Lane Alpha!
Illuminate the dark! Blah blah blah!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy flipper! In here!
I'll smash you!
Divine savior! Close one! Gotcha!
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy flipper! Don't leave me! Sleep now! Back from death's abyss! Divine
You
savior!
with
Night!
soul with light!
Illuminate! You get the gist! In here! I'll heal you all! More for the stockpile! A chain sword seal! Divine savior! Not on my watch!
Finish it!
Alpin, astral energy!
Say no more.
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood. No choice.
Let me help.
Engaging!
I can't heal you forever!
No further.
Radiant charges to me.
I'm going in. Bring him down.
I can
Carve through armor.
A wailing Banshee lightning! Annihilate!
Here I come. No match.
That's my cue! Here's the evil!
Shut him down. Elusive deity. Demon Fang. Begin. I'll grind you into dust. No. Can't end here. Forgive me. This is my fault.
Bizarro! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble.
Lightning!
Locked and loaded. Time to rush up. Dance on the wind.
I won't give up now!
Three left. Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis!
I'll face you.
Thunder Field!
You.
Arc
I'll
Field!
grind you into
Not
dust.
on my watch!
I'll grind you into dust.
Anything in armor is all mine! Dance in the wind!
See what I can do. Dance on the wind.
A chain between...
Behold, the earth pulse. Tectonic vision. Seismic rupture. Dance on the wind.
Chinese supernova! Raging cascade! Here!
This is some punishment.
In the wind! In here! More for the...
Sword Rain Alpha.
Sparkling stars of light! Rain down! Strike! Glacial spear! Evil! More with that Freeze Lancer! Holy Land! That's a bit!
Sword Rain Alpha.
Eat dirt! That'll bring you down!
Explosive ring.
Here's a healing art!
Dragon Swarm.
I'm
I'm ready. Totally. In an instant. Impact block. I can feel my power growing. Coming through. I do it. Now you see what I can do. You're mine. Eat this. Everlasting
Here's
dust.
a healing art! Raging cascade! First aid!
That may prove a thorn in our side.
For my lord.
Take this! Air thrust!
No further.
Heaven and earth! Here! Hit!
Too fast. Stand back. I'll trip it up. Roll back. Double demon fang.
The enemy will
You'll soon see about that!
Coming through. Ha! Melt. Scarlet Inferno.
Mega Ray!
Heal.
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes. Here I come. Seismic rupture. Crescent fly.
Flawless flight!
It's almost too strong. It'll split it open. Be my guest.
Security!
Eat dirt. The tempest is got you. Seismic rupture. Here I come. I'll face you. Use too much.
Together!
My shield.
Glacial spear! Here's the evil!
No further.
Illuminate the dark! Now! Frozen!
Hammer.
Let's help!
Where are you going?
Crescent flash.
Holy Land! Radiant, come here!
Crescent flash.
A wailing banshee of lightning! I'm Arc Seal!
Sword Rain Alpha.
Here's a healing arm!
The
Not in
flame
your
inside me
dreams.
yearns to be let free.
I'll face you.
Rising Phoenix. Burn.
Into the shadows!
Here I come.
I'm ready! Do it! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes.
Raging
My turn.
cascade!
Sword Rain Alpha. Dragon Swarm.
I'll be safe.
I lack the energy for healing arts. Discourteous, aren't you?
Lightning thrust! Be still!
My reach is even wider. Armor won't save you.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Up to the wall!
Try this! This one's all mine! Burn in hell!
Ready to go.
Rising Phoenix!
Far enough.
A wailing sea of lightning!
Sword Rain Alpha! Dragon Swarm!
Benediction light.
Sword Rain Alpha! Rising Phoenix!
Illuminate the this one's mine!
Sword Rain Alpha!
That'll bring you down.
Dragon Swarm!
Came between heaven and earth.
Try this! Explosive
Not on
ring!
my watch! A piercing flame of
Lightning
fury!
thrust! Not today!
Negative
Here's
gate.
evil!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Freeze Lancer!
Can't get out of this.
Do it!
Kasara!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone.
Here's a healing!
Shattering the
Use too much.
Come forth, holy glimmer!
Glacial Spear.
Here's the
Try this!
holy lamp!
Explosive ring! Be still! Rising Phoenix! Piss on! Eat this!
Behold, the Earth's pulse. Tectonic vision. Denied.
Steel force!
Resonate with the element.
Rising Phoenix! Dragon Swarm! Explosive ring!
No further.
Healing circle!
Thanks. How anticlimactic.
Dragon Swarm!
Got you!
I'm ready.
Get toasty!
Burn strike.
My exploits are bearing fruit. This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, Always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Danon. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for. Let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Danon astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegis. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when—
We can talk later. Here it comes!
What? I've never known Faust. You have to control Zugos like that before?
How about with a stone that looks suspiciously like a master sword?
What the? Where did she get her hands on that?
First we handled the Zugos. Then we kept some answers.
Aim for the weak spot!
Where are you going? Thanks so much!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me!
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Take this!
Air thrust!
Take this! I'm not done!
Nobody gets by me!
Sonic thrust! Sword Rain Alpha! Blow away!
Searing tempest! Not at my will!
Catapult! Rising Water!
Tornado! Illuminate the dark! Kudos!
Stay away from my friend!
Imbue this vanquished soul with life!
Resuscitation! Rising Phoenix! Burn!
Heal! Thanks!
Sword Rain Alpha! Dragon Swarm! Flaming Thrust! Rising Phoenix!
Mine!
The earth throbs in pain.
Divine Savior! Illuminate the magic is there! Sweep now! More for the top!
I couldn't make it in time.
Blah, blah, blah. Feel!
Anything in armor is all mine!
Magic is there! Divine Savior! Illuminate the top! Blah, blah, blah.
Powered up! Be still!
Annihilation!
Rising! Take this! Sword Rain Alpha! Try this!
No dawn
Here's a
shall
healing
break
art.
this night.
I owe you one.
Radiant Lightning! Annihilation!
Double Demon!
Illuminate the top!
Forgive me.
Holy
This is
Glimmer!
my fault.
Burning Strike! Holy Lamb! I'll bring you back to Illuminate the dark! Come forth! Holy Glimmer! Illuminate the dark!
Resonate
Come
with
forth!
the
Holy Glimmer! Where are you going? Campaign Squirrel!
I'll smash you!
Illuminate from death to this! Holy Lamb! Illuminate the dark! First aid! Dance in the wind! Pierce evil! Air thrust! Dip freeze laser! Air thrust!
Denied!
I'll heal you all! Dance in the wind! Feel! Healing
Sword Rain
storm!
Alpha! Flaming Thrust!
Glacier
Soaring
spear!
Right
Pierce
Spear!
evil! Tempest swirl! More wind laser!
Benediction light.
I can't heal you forever!
Dragon Swarm!
Take this! Sword Rain Alpha! It's showtime! Now you see what I can do! Everlasting Sun! Soaring Blast! Remove!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
I'll heal you all!
Sword Rain Alpha! Dragon Orb!
Thunderblade! Healing Circle! Illuminate the dark! Come forth!
Healing the deity! Rising Phoenix! Soaring Blast! Sword Rain Alpha!
It's about to strike!
Look sharp, everyone! My turn!
Divine Savior!
Try harder! Now!
If it's in the sky, it's mine! Where are you going?
Sword Rain!
Leave the chargers!
Don't give up! Thunder Healing Circle!
Imbue this vanquished soul with life!
Lightning! Illuminate
In a vine?
Come forth, Holy Glimmer!
Now you see what I can do!
Holy Land! Illuminate!
Demon Fang!
Holy Land! Illuminate the blah blah blah!
Deity!
This is
some punishment.
Illuminate the blah blah blah! Here goes! Freeze Lancer!
You're finished! This one's all mine!
Illuminate the dark! Come forth! I'll bring you back from death to bed!
Soaring Light Spear!
Holy Land! The chain between heaven and earth!
Lightning
The
Thrust!
wailing damage to lightning!
Stardust!
Sleep now!
Rising Phoenix!
Out of
Black
ammo!
and Blade!
I'll be back in
Sword Rain Alpha! Elusive Deity!
Here!
Dragon Swarm!
Take this!
I'll face you! Won't save them!
Enemies immobilized! Mega Ray! Power of water! Holy Land! Illuminate the dark! Come forth! Holy Glimmer! Illuminate the dark! Come forth! Holy Glimmer! Holy Land! Illuminate the dark! Come forth!
Can't
Holy
get out of
Glimmer!
this!
Mega Ray! Holy
Demon Fang!
Illuminate the blah blah blah! Holy Land! Illuminate you get the death! Holy Land!
Blood! Rending you apart!
Illuminate the dark!
Anything in armor is all mine!
Holy Land! Illuminate the dark! Here goes Holy... I'm almost impressed.
High praise coming from you.
I said almost. Don't get carried away. Holy Land!
Dazzle!
Reload!
Rising Phoenix!
Not in your dreams. Here's a
Sword Rain Alpha!
Rotating
pile! Rising Blast!
Lightning!
Rising!
Hydration orb!
Listen to it all!
Illuminate the dark!
Take this!
Come forth, Holy
In a
Glimmer!
vine?
Holy Land! Illuminate the dark! Upgrade! Holy Glimmer! Holy Land!
Leave the chargers to me!
That move!
Here comes the big one!
That'll bring you down!
Attack time! Armor won't save you!
Got nothing!
Inside me! Yours to be let free! Elusive Deity!
Here! Flame of fury!
Rending you a bloody hole!
Here's evil! Illuminate the dark! Illuminate the dark! Come forth! Holy Glimmer! Holy Land! Here goes! Here's evil! Illuminate the dark! Blah 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 magic! Freeze Lancer! Holy Land! Illuminate you!
Can't end here! Not done
Holy
yet!
Land! Damn it! You get the jet! Holy Land! You get the jet!
Shattering pieces! Attack time! Swallow it! No!
Blah blah blah!
Can't end here!
Holy Land!
Ready to go! Far enough!
Radiant
Negative
here!
take! On your
Radiant here!
air pressure!
Searing flame! Reload! I'm out and back into the fray! Primed and ready! Go! Searing tempest! I never miss! There!
I'm ready!
Kizara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble! Now it's just her! Faria! Can you hear me? Faria!
She's preparing another summoning!
The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, Her body won't be able to take much more. Dohalim!
Forgive me. Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shion, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case...
I'll take her off your hands.
You?
Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones, if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnigan, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember. You never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already past, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shion.
Huh?
Thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks. We're on the same... What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
Yeah. It's that voice.
The will of Dana's astral energy.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now. No, it was more than that.
What the hell was that? It felt like everything was on the brink of... like the whole world was seconds from...
Oblivion. It's the same vision as the one my thorns show me. A vision of impenetrable darkness that swallows up us and everything else.
An empty void. A nothing so complete and dominating that there aren't even words to describe it. The end of time.
The visions of the apocalypse you've been seeing. If I'd known how bad they were,
So, everything we just saw, those were Naori's memories, right?
That's right. It was as if her innermost thoughts were speaking directly to us. At least I know they weren't mine.
That power flowing into her, it reminds me of Xion's thorns. If they're what's responsible for all these visions she's been having, then maybe...
Maybe my thorns are made from that same astral energy?
If that is the case, we just found the missing link between your thorns and what happened here 3 centuries ago. No, more than a link. Perhaps even the very heart of the matter.
I've never felt astral energy so powerful. What was that?
If it's the same energy your thorns are made of, it must be dark astral energy, right? And isn't that something only Renans have?
Correct. Dark astral energy is possessed by Renans alone.
And when enough astral energy gathers together, it develops its own form of sentience. If so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral energy's will is wishing for. But why?
I don't know. Will can be a pretty vague thing to nail down. It's more of a feeling, just like the will of Dana.
But the will of Dana is made up of astral energy too, right? And if that's what's been showing us these visions... I don't know, should we really be getting so involved with this thing?
Dana's will would never want oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure!
Cut it out, you two. Squabbling over theories will get us nowhere.
Let's keep moving. If it's Dana's will showing us these memories, then I'm as clueless about its motives as any one of us. But if it could lead us to the truth, then I want to find out more.
Xion's right. All we can do is keep going. If these really are Naori's memories we're watching, there could be truths in them I was never aware of. And I think they may be the kinds of truths I need to confront if we're going to keep fighting.
I'm sorry about what I said earlier. Come on, let's go.
Finally, we begin to understand what the thorns are.
Yes, and their source. A ceremony that occurred 3 centuries ago.
But we still don't know how to get rid of them. I just hope we can find a way. Soon, we might very well learn the truth behind Shion's thorns, as well as my own past. I have to be ready to face anything. Whatever happens. I just need a little time.
Do you think... that...
Looks like we made it here in one piece. Done. This is short. You could... Never be too prepared. But did we have to spend so much?
We seem to have come across something a little unusual.
An opponent like this be easy.
Radiant Spear! Another shield! Everyone, get back! It's too dangerous! Forgive you!
You got spirit!
The wise warrior knows
I won't show you any mercy! Now you'll learn!
Soon, we might very well learn the truth behind Shion's thorns. As well as my own path. I have to be ready to face anything. I'm determined to... Hold up, you guys.
What is it?
I want to look through that room over there. I'm curious what we'll find.
That's the room you visited in your past, right? Sure. We can check it out. This looks like some kind of research facility.
A laboratory secreted away in the Forbidden Zone. Why am I past being surprised at this point?
Looks pretty deserted.
Let's check it out. It might give us a new lead.
I think I can make this work.
Well, can you make head or tail of it?
These are experiment records, by the looks of it. Reams of them, dating back hundreds of years. Let's see. A composite being capable of controlling Danon astral energy, so as to convert its molecular and elemental makeup. The creation of a governing central figure, taking the form of a Danon. Codename Sovereign.
Sovereign.
Wait, there's more. Research into utilizing force field crystals for the purpose of stable astral energy containment. That must be the Master Course. With all this raw data, there's bound to be records here somewhere about the Maiden and the Lords, too.
About the Lords? Why would they be on there?
Think about it. The Lord's crests are clearly of a piece with those of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. Not to mention the fact that the contenders to the crown are selected from otherwise regular Renan citizens. In other words, it may be that all Renans are unwittingly being made subject to some kind of grand scheme.
What about the Sovereign? Does it say anything else?
Where do I start? All I've read so far is the headlines. There's so much here. To sift through all of it would require specialized... Wait.
What is it? Did you find something?
It's a list of names, with the title, Test Subjects, Sovereign. It's your call.
Read it.
There must be dozens of test subjects listed here. Hundreds even. All of them failures. Wait, I think I've found one that was successful. Test subject number 1273. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Alphen.
They re-engineered me. Right here in this lab.
Alphen.
It's fine, really. What about the others? Was I the only one?
Test subject number 10105. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Volron.
Volron? But that means...
He's only Sovereign because someone made him that way too.
He's the last one. In 3 centuries worth of records, you and Volron are the only 2 subjects on whom the experiment was a success.
But what about the winners of the crown contests? Does this mean that none of them were ever crowned sovereign after all?
Upon victory, the Sovereign shall return to Rena and rule over Rena and Lenegis combined. When a new Sovereign is decided, the outgoing monarch shall relinquish their post and live out the rest of their days on Rena. So we were told. But according to these records, there have only ever been 2 Sovereigns, neither of whom had anything to do with the crown contest. It's all lies, including the part about the Sovereign residing in Rena. The crown contest was never about deciding a new ruler. It must always have been devised for some other purpose.
But even supposing that's true, someone must have been in charge for the past 3 centuries, right? If it wasn't the Sovereign, then who was it?
Crown contests have been held this whole time, in spite of the fact that there was already a Sovereign. Me. Meaning that for the past 300 years, someone out there has to have been maintaining that lie. The same person I'm willing to bet is behind all this.
The Red Woman?
It's possible. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's the mastermind behind this scheme. She could be working for someone else. Someone back on the Renan homeworld.
Either way, it's fair to say she's definitely involved somehow.
What about the data records? Is there no other information that could help us?
Not that I can see. Just file upon file of experiment results. There's nothing here about who's behind all this, or what their endgame is, unfortunately. I've barely managed to scratch the surface, mind you. You won't be able to read through it all, but you're welcome to take a look through what you can, while we're here.
I'll do that.
So this is where... only...
Naori,
Don't talk. I have to do this. I gave you my word that I'd help you return to Dana. The next time you open your eyes, you'll be home.
But you...
My place is here with my people. I still have a duty to fulfill. I'm sorry for what you've endured. Rena never should have dragged you into this. It's not your burden to bear.
But...
The mask contains a sedative. It should keep your mind from tearing itself apart any further. Let yourself go to sleep. This should help with the pain. Time to go, Elfin. Farewell.
Naori...
His injuries are worse than I thought. Short-term treatment isn't going to cut it. I'll have to switch the healing pod to long-term hibernation mode. The chance of surviving hibernation's less than 10%? And worse, long-term use of the mask carries a high risk of damaging his mind and nervous system. But... If I don't head back, Lenegis will be nothing but ashes, and this starship along with it. I don't know if I can fulfill my promise to you, Alphen. But if doing this will grant you even the slightest chance, I have to try. I hope it's enough. Please, live for me, Alphen.
That vision. It must have been from when Naori helped Alphen escape Lenegis.
She sure went above and beyond the call of duty.
Even with Lenegis crumbling down around her, she chose to stay put with her people.
So that's why you lost your memories and sense of pain, and why you were asleep for that whole time. It was all the result of one agonizing decision Naori made to save your life.
Yeah. If it weren't for her, I wouldn't even be alive today. I owe her everything. More than I could ever hope to repay.
Now that you know how she felt, how do you plan on honoring her wishes?
She kept her promise. If the Renan people she fought so desperately to protect are at risk from a malevolent force, then I owe it to her to carry on her fight. Naori was the one who put that mask on me, and made me Iron Mask.
She did it to prevent your soul from tearing itself apart. She knew you might lose your memories and sense of pain as a result. But more than anything, she wanted you to survive. And you did.
This place. We've seen this in one of Naori's memories.
Of course. After 300 years, this is where it was held. The spirit channeling ceremony. This is where the Renis Alma was.
So this is the place where you and Naori...
The Renis Alma isn't here now. Nor is the Red Woman, it seems.
I know it's difficult, Alphen, but there will be time to dwell on the past later. For now, we need to keep moving. Come on.
Naori.
What is this? Is it the work of Dana's will again?
It's been a year since the ceremony. That day, I shut away inside of myself the power that caused Alphen to lose control. Since then, my visions of the future have grown more and more fearsome.
Is this another memory? No, it's different this time. It's like she's speaking directly to us.
What we did back then. Not so much as a day passes when I don't think about it. About what was done to us. All in the name of a ceremony. The purpose of which we were never even told. As Sovereign, they linked Alphen's consciousness to Lenegis itself. The Renis Alma was intended to control his power, lest anything should slip through its cracks. That day, as Maiden, my role was to temper his power. I was meant to guide it forth, and give shape to the strength inside of him.
Linked to Lenegis itself? But then, everything that's been happening...
But that power showed me a vision. A vision of oblivion. When I realized that vision was a prophecy of the apocalypse we were about to unleash, I couldn't go through with it. But without a maiden, the ceremony was doomed. Alphen lashed out, his consciousness no longer his own. I did what I could. Using my abilities as the maiden, I tried to seal that power away inside of me. But it was too late. Lenegis had already been brought to its knees. Thousands upon thousands of lives so cruelly snuffed out. All because of me. Because of what I had done. With the destructive force now slumbering inside of me, I knew I had to find a way to dispose of it. Anything to make up for my failure. But I didn't know how. Especially since that power was astral energy itself. In which case, ironically enough, the Renis Alma seemed to be my best bet. That, at least, would hold the astral energy dormant. Assuming that no malevolent third party got to it first. With the Sovereign and Maiden's combined power, perhaps I could shift the chaotic energy inside me into the Renis Alma instead. That's what I hoped, but alas, it was not to be. The Renis Alma was lost, and Alphen, the Sovereign, was in a starship bound for Dana. My only choice was to seal away the destructive force inside of me using my powers as the Maiden, to buy the world what little time I could. The time needed for a new Renis Alma to be crafted, and for a new Sovereign to appear. Even if by doing so, it meant I would be passing the curse on to my descendants as well. Please, forgive me. I never meant to burden the future world with this threat too. I only wish that there was something more I could have done.
Wait, you can't just...
Naori.
That message just now, was it directly from Naori? Or was it the Danan voice speaking through her?
What?
These are the clothes that Naori and I wore during the ceremony 3 centuries ago.
So you're saying this is the Maiden's outfit?
That's right. These clothes are designed to resonate with the Sovereign and Maiden's abilities. They focus and enhance them.
And they appeared now because...
Naori must have left them here for the new Sovereign and Maiden, knowing the day would come when they would need them in their fight against the Thorns.
These outfits are directly linked to the answers we've been chasing this whole time. If they're here, it must mean it was Naori's will for us to find those answers as well.
Locating the Renis Alma would allow us to neutralize the dark astral energy inside Shion, thereby silencing her thorns. Is that what Naori's suggesting?
It makes sense. After all, Master Cores and Spirit Vessels are both able to prevent the astral energy inside them from developing sentience. By that logic, it would stand to reason that the Renis Alma would have the same ability on a larger scale.
We have a Maiden and Sovereign. Now all we need is the Renis Alma, and we'll finally be able to free you of your thorns. Shion.
It's possible? You really think so?
I do. We can rid you of your thorns and stop the world from falling to oblivion.
However, the spirit channeling ceremony already failed once. Even if our goal is different this time, we can't be sure the same thing won't happen again. We should take care not to be too optimistic.
You're right. It's the barest sliver of a chance. But if there's even the slightest hope it can work, I'm willing to stake everything I've got on it.
I know it's too early to let myself feel relieved, but I just can't seem to help it. Just hearing there's the slightest chance, even though I know the world's still in great peril. It's selfish of me, I know, but still.
No, it isn't. You found hope to believe in. It'd be strange if you weren't over the moon about it.
Rinwell's right. We can rid you of your curse and still save the world at the same time.
Thank you. Naori entrusted us with the fate of all humanity. Now, it's up to us to prove that trust was well placed.
Starting with a little game called Hunt the Renis Alma.
Yeah, we've come all this way. Now we just need to search Lenegis and Rena until we find it.
Yeah, we can protect the world and save Shion at the same time.
I too shall lend my services. My knowledge of Renan lore is bound to be a useful asset.
And they say modesty is dead.
Miracles just seem to follow wherever you go, huh?
How do you know it's me they're following? We're all in this together, Shion. You included. Now let's get moving, shall we? Last I heard, we had an apocalypse to stop. Thank you, Naori. So Naori sealed a...
That's quite some door, all right. This might finally be it. The heart of the beast.
We'll find the Renis Alma and the Red Woman inside, right?
After everything we've been through to get here, they damn well better be.
We'll probably be needing you to open this one for us, Sovereign.
Go for it, Alphen.
This is it, guys. Time to see what secrets are in store.
We were...
Volron! He really was still alive.
And there's the Renis Alma. Then, is this another spirit channeling ceremony?
Wait, though. Something doesn't seem right here.
Once more, the powers must be united. Born from the fires of chaos, the world does seek its rightful state. All must be sacrificed in the heart of Rena, at the shrine of the true sovereign.
What has happened to him? He's lost himself, reduced to a mere cog in a machine.
Hey, look! Over there!
Isn't that the Maiden's crest?
Can it be that this entire chamber is meant to act as a substitute for the Maiden?
It looks like it's still running, but... are we already too late to stop the ceremony?
If that's what caused Lenegis' transformation, then the purpose of the ceremony must have been to drain all the astral energy out of Dana.
But for what purpose? What could possibly need astral energy on that sort of scale?
I don't know. But whatever it is, I'll bet it's connected to those visions of oblivion. Regardless, we cannot stand by and let them steal Dana's energy. That said, we should retrieve the Renis Alma. Because right now, we need that most of all.
He's not gonna lunge at us out of nowhere, right?
Not the time, Law.
Alphen, look!
The Red Woman! So we finally found you. I have a lot of questions for you.
Wait!
What?
They all have the same face? How is that even possible? What is this?
Who the hell are they?
It can't be. Are they even people?
It's hard to know for sure, but I think they're the true rulers of Rena.
They're not feeling particularly talkative.
It's no use, Alphen. If we don't fight, we may as well be sitting ducks here.
Good point. Let's stop them before this gets out of hand.
Cheating pile driver!
Glacial Spear! Here he goes!
Benediction light.
Dragon Swarm! Eat this!
Mega
Crush Blackened Blade! Dragon Swarm! Try this!
Burning Strike! Glacial Spear! Piercing
Sword Rain Alpha! Try this!
Lancer! Raging Storm!
Blended Blast!
Flawless Flight!
Rising Phoenix!
Not in your dreams!
Bloody Sword Rain Alpha!
Where are you going?
Yours to be let free!
Negative
Dragon Thrust!
Striking down!
Rising Phoenix!
Glacial Spear! Piercing heaven and earth! Freeze Lancer!
Not now, not ever!
Showtime! Can you take it? Illuminate the sun!
Armor won't save you!
Sorry to trouble you.
You do the same for me. Illuminate the dark!
Nothing gets by me!
Reflect on thy
Back into
sin.
the field!
They smite with blackened blade!
A chain blah blah burning strike!
Sword Alpha! The flame inside
Make
me
pause for being
Here,
interrupted.
let me help. Illuminate the dark!
Ignite
Show you what my art can do! Rise and shine!
Bathed in blood.
Thanks, don't leave me! A chain blah 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 magic! Art sealed! Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy land! Illuminate the dark! Illuminate the dark! You get the gist! Holy land! Illuminate blah blah!
Ready and ready! Now you'll see what I
Here's
can
the
do!
evil! Eat dirt! Blah blah blah! I never miss! Holy land! You get the gist! Let me show you what my art is! You get the gist! Holy land!
You require
You get the gist!
In a bind?
Holy land!
your death.
Denied!
Illuminate! Holy glimmer! Holy land! Illuminate the dark! Holy land! Back into the fray!
Dragon Swarm!
Burning
Lightning
Laser
Thrust!
spear!
Rising Phoenix!
Confiscated!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Wind astral energy! Raging cascade!
Burn in hell!
Fresh! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Burning strike! Laser spear!
Smash you!
Here's evil! Free blade!
I have no limits!
Thunder seal! Heal you all! Dance in the
Sword
wind!
Rain Alpha!
And more Wait now!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Sword Rain Alpha!
One raging storm!
Eternal Mark!
Elusive deity.
Dragon Swarm!
First aid! Eat
Try
dirt!
this!
Wind I never miss!
Explosive
Raging
Ray!
cascade! Stay here!
Be still!
I'll be
Rising
saving you!
I can't move!
Forgive me. This is my fault.
I'll bring illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy glim, holy land! Illuminate the dark! Art sealed! Burning holy land! Illuminate the dark! Magic is there! Illuminate the... You get the gist! Holy land! Illuminate... You get the gist! Holy land! Burning strike! Blah, blah,
Not
blah!
today!
Holy land! I can handle it! Far enough! Holy land! You get the gist! Damn it! Better out of ammo!
Rising Wiper!
Darkness.
Healing! Holy land! Illuminate the dark! Come forth! Holy glimmer! Feel! Need to pull myself I'll together. I'll be saving! Not on my watch! Burning! Magic
Can't
is
get out of
there!
sight!
Primed and ready!
Here I come!
You get the gist! I never miss!
Shockwave Blast!
Divine!
I can carve through armor!
You get the gist! Into the shadows! Sleep now! Mega ray! Blah blah blah! Divine! You get the gist! Feel!
Megasonic Thrust! Dragon Swarm!
Chain blah blah blah! Mega ray! Divine savior!
All mine! Burn!
Illuminate!
Nothing gets by me!
In here!
Rising
Far enough! Annihilation!
Shockwave Blast!
Divine savior! Feel!
Ready and rare! On the way! Burn!
A chain blah blah blah! Magic! Divine savior!
Take this!
Annihilation!
I can carve through armor! I'll face you! Eternal devastation!
Feel! Eat dirt! Demon I never miss! Illuminate! You get the gist!
Hurricane Thrust! Catapult!
Hear me! Illuminate the dark! Holy glimmer! Here's the Scream laser! Divine! Let me help!
Demon Fang!
First aid! Not on my watch!
Try this! Elusive deity!
Nothing can hurt me! Far enough!
Rotating
Feel! Reload! I'll heal you all! Divine save! Illuminate the healing stick! Feel! Anything in cover is
Dragon Swarm!
Annihilate!
Explosive ring!
Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy glimmer!
Demon Lance!
Feel!
Soaring high!
Divine State! Illuminate! You get the gist!
Resonate with the earth!
Don't give up!
Resonate with the earth! Stalagmite!
Illuminate the dark! I never... Holy glimmer!
Bloody
Holy land!
Double Demon Fang!
Not on my... What?
Demon Fang!
Just so the doctor ready to go! Illuminate the desert! Holy land!
Now you see what I can do! Imbue this vanquished soul with life!
Holy land! Illuminate the dark!
Double Demon Fang!
Healing circle! Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy glimmer! Holy land! Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy land! Light astral energy! Radiant
Dragon Swarm!
Radiant roar! Flawless flip!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Block!
I'll heal you all!
Heal!
Thanks! Surrender! Fighting is useless now!
Do you think it's really over?
Astral energy. Watch out! They've got something up their sleeve!
What?
It's self-destructed?
Alphen!
I'm okay. Just a little roughed up.
You had me worried there.
Who said you could touch that?
Damn it! He's awake!
I should have thought as much.
So you know this place?
Naturally, it was built for me, after all. We'll save that for another time. More pressing is how I'm going to tear you apart.
Even after all this time, you still insist on hating me?
You cut me down. Sovereign or not, you will pay for that.
You're obviously bluffing. You can't even move right now.
Really, is that what you think? Did you really think that such a petty device could hold me?
Are you going to claim it's because you're a ruler? Be it sovereigns or lords. In the end, they're all titles given by someone else.
Plus, what kind of ruler would spend all his time chasing Alf, who happens to be another sovereign?
Idle prattle. I proved my worth and the Sovereign's powers were granted to me.
Were they really? We already know the title of Sovereign doesn't denote royalty. It is but an overblown codename for those with a designated part to play in these proceedings. You mentioned before that you were not the only one stolen from Dana, correct?
Yeah. There were countless. And every one of them besides me died.
All of those failed experiments, and they still kept going back to Dana. There must have been some vital reason their subject had to specifically be a Danan. Then there were the records we found in the library, for you and Volron. They were logged 300 years apart, and yet the data they took from you was exactly the same. Which leads us to a single conclusion.
Then you mean... Boron was kidnapped just like Alphen? But then he became a...
A slave from Dana. Just like us. Isn't that right, Volron?
So he posed as a Renin and caused all that suffering to his own people?
How could you? If you knew the pain of being a slave, why would you inflict that upon others?
Renan and Danon are meaningless distinctions. Me and everyone else. That is all that matters. I will stand above all others and take what is rightfully mine, starting with this.
A red woman?
Another one?
Give your master back on Rena this message. No one makes a fool of me. Let them know I'll make them suffer.
Don't do it!
Serenus Alma!
Too late! We can't stay here!
We need to go! Alphen!
Go. But know I will be your shadow no matter where you try to run.
Let's go.
Never forget, I am the one who devours everything. Who answers to neither spirit nor man. My word is law. I am...
Are you two okay?
Yeah. We'll be fine.
Is Volron... have we finally seen the last of him?
We can but hope.
Those red women. What the heck was their deal?
Could they be the ones behind all this? The same ones who put those soldiers in Faria in a trance?
What? Those brainless things? Either way, they've done a runner with the Renus Alma. Damn it, that's the second time now!
Whatever's stolen from us, we'll steal it back. The future's ours to protect. And right now those things are what's standing in our way. We can head them off at Rena.
Did you say Rena?
Volron mentioned a master of theirs holed up in the motherland somewhere.
If that monstrous form's their true identity, I shudder to think who they take orders from.
Yeah. There's a good chance it's not human. That's for sure.
So this thing over on Rena, that's what's really behind all this, huh?
They have the Renus Alma in their grasp already, so it's unlikely they'll have cause to return to Dana. I agree that Rena's our best shot.
Then we're agreed. Let's head back to the starship.
But seriously, I was not expecting Volron to actually be here.
He seemed to care not one whit about Renans or Danans.
Yeah, not in a good way like with us.
I did...
It's on!
Too late to talk over
Not
us.
today!
Engaging!
Fear! Pierce evil!
Vanishing in armor is all mine! Execution! Far enough! Can you take
That'll
it?
bring you down!
Sword Rain Alpha!
I'm ready!
In an instant! Impact block! Now!
All that!
Take
Here I come!
into the center! I don't even know the word defeat.
Rising Phoenix! I'm not done! Sword Sword Rain Alpha! Dragon War!
No further.
Fire support!
Sword Rain Alpha!
No rest for the wicked.
Double Demon Fang!
Death from the wind!
Not in your dreams!
I'll grind you into dust!
You'll pay for that!
Holy Land!
Now or never.
Now for something special!
In a bind? Nothing before
Dragon Fang!
Mission!
Double Demon Fang!
I'll smash you! Seismic rupture! Far enough!
In here! More for the
I'll
stop!
grind you into
Finish
dust!
it!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Remember to tell me if you need healing.
I expect you'll be in high demand if that's the case. What the? When did it get pitch dark all of a sudden?
The lights are all out. Think it has something to do with the explosion back in the Forbidden Zone?
Doe?
You two.
Faria, Avakir. Thank goodness you're safe.
Avakir filled me in about everything. About how I ambushed you all.
She doesn't remember a thing, so she really was being controlled.
He told me about Tarnigan, too. Is it true?
What difference does it make? What's done is done.
Stop casting me off, just for once!
Faria, not now. It can wait. Dohalim, Lenegis is in grave peril.
So I can see.
It's the city's core reactor. It's damaged. Some of the basic systems we've managed to keep online, but complete restoration's still a way off.
You're an elite technician, though. You can fix it, right?
If so, then what's the problem?
Panic's begun to set in among the citizens. Until now, whenever something like this happened, the Sovereign would issue a decree. But this time, not so much as a peep. Any longer, and we run the risk of riots breaking out before we can get things back up and running.
Forget the Sovereign. I doubt you'll be hearing from him anytime soon.
What's that supposed to mean? Do you know something I don't?
Suffice it to say, the Sovereign isn't the kind of ruler we thought he was. That is, if he ever even existed, which is looking doubtful at this stage.
Are you out of your mind? Why, if people knew that a lord such as yourself was whispering such blasphemy, they'd...
There's no time to explain now. It sounds like we need to find a way to keep Lenegis from spiraling out of control.
We need to stop that riot.
But how do we do that?
Riots feed on discontent and unrest, right? So if we want to keep the peace, we just need to put people's minds at ease.
At ease? Like by letting them hear directly from someone they trust. That's it. Who's the highest-ranking person in Lenegis right now?
Lenegis wouldn't have a next in line. After all, you said the Sovereign rules over everyone directly, right?
Correct. The closest thing to an authority figure would be a lord, and the only one left is... Ah, very well then. Avakir, you mentioned a few facilities were still online. Which ones?
Why hasn't the Sovereign said anything?
Please, won't somebody explain what's going on?
Is it over? What's going to happen to all of us?
Heed me now, fellow Renans of Lenegis. It is I, Lord Dohalim Ilkaris of Elda Menancia.
Look, up there! It's Lord Dohalim!
Hold on! He should be in the crown contest! Shouldn't he? Why isn't the Sovereign talking to us?
The Sovereign is seeing to other matters right now. In my capacity as Lord, I speak to you in his stead. You're afraid. As people so often are when faced with the unknown. I hope you'll allow me to put your fears to rest. The city's core reactor has experienced a malfunction. However, we have our top engineers attending to the matter, and things will soon be back to normal. I know that you feel abandoned, perhaps more scared and alone than ever before. But I ask you all to keep one thing in mind. You are Lenegis, not the Lords and Sovereign. The solidarity of its citizens is the mortar that holds it together. If we don't allow ourselves to be distracted by our differences, if we put our hearts and minds together and stand as one, I am confident we will find new hope. I would be honored to stand with you. Not as a person of loftier rank, but as another human being among many. I hope that you'll lend me your strength, for if we can persevere as one, I know a bright tomorrow awaits.
Your speech seems to have done the trick. Looks like the city won't be descending into chaos after all.
I only pray the relief will tide the city over for the time being.
What you said earlier, about the Sovereign possibly not even existing, was it true?
It's still too premature to say with any certainty, but I believe so. This whole time, this world we've been fed was a lie, built on nothing but falsehoods.
But it can't all have been...
I can believe it. After everything I saw in the Forbidden Zone, what they did to Faria, it's the only explanation that makes sense.
But what about hierarchy, Avakir? Authority? The very foundations of Renan society? How can we live without someone to guide us?
I'd say we found someone capable of doing just that, wouldn't you?
You? You can't be serious.
I have business I must take care of first. But once everything is over, I shall return. But not as your sovereign, nor as a leader the likes of which the people here are used to, I think.
But how else do you propose to rule?
I'm not sure yet. All I have is a feeling that here in Lenegis, a new dawn is on the verge of breaking. One in which people won't be judged by birthright or on the power of their astral arts, but on other things. More important things. Things like, oh, I don't know, musical talent, for example.
When I bumped into you after all those years, I said you were no different. But I was wrong. Truth is, you were always different. I feel like maybe now I can finally begin to accept Tarnigan's death. To see a future.
You go finish whatever it is you've got to do. I'll hold down the fort here in Lenegis till you get back.
Thank you.
I guess you're not going to make it to Menancia for the foreseeable future, huh?
Indeed. Forgive me.
The people of Elda can look after themselves just fine. It's the ones here on Lenegis who need someone to guide them. Besides, with you leading the people here, it'll help spread the idea of coexistence beyond Menancia's borders that much faster.
Sounds like you're in it for the long haul.
How could I not be, after the second chance that I've been granted? From this day forth, I shall dedicate myself to the future inhabitants of this world. Though the memories of the departed shall remain forever in my heart.
Remember, you're going to be leading the people here, not ruling them.
True enough. Whatever would I do without you, Kisara?
With or without her, I suspect you're gonna have your hands full when the time comes. We should be heading back to the ship. Business on Rena awaits. Looks like the people...
In one sense. How...
What do you say we check back in on the Ran?
That turned out good, if I do say so myself.